Hello, hello, hi, geekpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Saturday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi, and I help folks with a job to start a side gig online and use social media to grow it. If that is you, drop the word me in the comments, and I got you. Get back with you, and let's see if we can do something together. Whether you're serious or curious, it don't matter. You know, let's go. So, tonight, let's go to Japan, Tokyo. I got a little story for you tonight for how to deal with um, anger, how to deal with um, oh my goodness, envy and insults. I need to get some sleep if I forget my own subject. I think that has happened. Let's see. I've been doing lives for 6.5 years, so there was only one time I was telling a really good story too. I was telling a story, and I totally forgot halfway through. I totally forgot the story, and that was pretty embarrassing. Yeah. So anyway, how to deal with anger, insults, envy, things of that sort. So, an old samurai, now retired, lives in some part of Japan in Tokyo, and he decides to teach Zen to young students. Right. Well, there's this young warrior with a lot of pride and let's just call it pride and ego that he comes up to the the master, if you would, and will throw a challenge at him, right? And says, you know what? I will challenge you to a duo. And all the students are telling the old master, if you would, hey, this is probably not a good idea. This guy's young, hungry, he's got ego, he's a pretty bad warrior, and we just don't recommend it. The old man says, you know what, challenge accepted, and they set a time and a date right in the middle of town. So they go, and the old man just stands there and waits, and the young man starts throwing insult at him, spits in his face, throws rocks at him, calls him all kinds of names, pulls on his shirt, um, just throwing insults at him left and right. He tries this for literally hours. And by everyone's surprise, the master is very still and very calm, and he does not move. It looks like he's waiting for the young warrior to take the really first strike. By the end of this hours and hours of this kid trying to insult and get a reaction from this guy, by the end of the day, he's very unsuccessful, and he's just exhausted. He's sitting down, and he's got his head down, and he's just exhausted from throwing all this hate and anger and resentments and envy and insults at the master. He's exhausted. At the end of the day, the kids come up to the master and say, how can you even go on with all that this guy said to you, with all these insults? He threw stones at you. He spit in your face. And yet, you didn't do anything about it. How can you even stay calm? And the master turns around and says, let me ask you a question. When you get a gift from somebody and you refuse to receive the gift, who gets to keep the gift? And everybody says, well, if I refuse the gift, the giver gets to keep that gift. And the master says, the same goes with anger, insults, and envy. When somebody comes to you and is angry at you, is envious of you, is throwing insults at you, if you receive them, then they are yours and you get to keep them and you get to deal with them and live with them. However, if you refuse them, then it's not in your possession. In fact, it never was. And it still belongs to the person who's got all that inside them. This is such a wonderful story in that it's a great reminder for me myself as well. This is such a great reminder when people hate, when people throw at you, when they come at you with all kinds of stuff. It's really, really to your advantage to stay still, stay calm, and not receive any of it. Not receive any of it. Now, that doesn't mean get into an argument and say, no, that's not me. No, no, no. When when you start doing that, you actually have received it, right? So the whole idea is that you don't even verbalize it. You don't give it any type of life at all. The whole point is to refuse and not to receive any of it: the anger, the resentments, the hate, the envy, the jealousy, the insults, right? And the good news is, I don't know, maybe that's not the good news, but the news is that we do get plenty of times to practice this, don't we? There's plenty of times, pretty much in a every day, that somebody's in our face. If you're in on social media, if you're an influencer, if you're a content creator, then if you're showing up, then there's always somebody who doesn't like you or your stuff or your breath over the camera. There's just something, right? And so we do get plenty of options, plenty of choices that we can practice this, practice the art of not receiving crap from people. And that is all. I think that's the secret to staying calm and cool and very zen. So, with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let it grow. And I'm live on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, later on X, Threads, and LinkedIn. And if you're not following me, here's an option. Here's a chance. Let's go. You can follow me on all platforms. I'd rather you do. And I go with Side Gig Sean. If you feel like this is worthy of sharing, if you know somebody who could use this, who should hear this. Tag them to this, share it with them. Let's go. Don't be stingy with my lives. And with that, I am Sean Azimi. I help folks with a job to start a side gig online and use social media to grow it. If that is you, drop the word me in the comments. And I got you. I'll get back with you after this live. I will get back with you after this live. So don't like disappear in thin air, you know? So with that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.